Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. For today's process video, I wanted to share with you the layout that I did for the Traci Reed Designs creative team using the brand new My Oasis collection. And I'm working specifically with the pattern papers and the digital stamps, and probably used some elements from the stickers and the alleys included as a part of this collection. And so I've got two photos here and a bunch of die cuts that I created using the digital stamps and overlaying pattern papers to create those giant florals. And then I also in Photoshop pulled in this digital stamp that is like all of these ivy sort of trailing down, and I stamped that on the background paper. The background paper is one of the solids included in the collection, and then I printed that out and printed and cut all of the flowers. I printed and cut the Home Sweet Home, and I also have two photos here that I want to use. And it looks like right now I'm just going through and grabbing a couple of stamp sets that I want to use. Some of them are from Felicity Jane, it looks like, and I was just looking for some home themed products to include with this layout. And so my story is actually, I realized not long ago that for my kids' albums, I haven't really documented building our home. And so in 2014, we built and moved into the home that we live in now. And so I wanted to make sure that that process got documented in their albums somehow. So this is the first, and this of course was the perfect layout to use with this story. And so right now I'm trying to figure out kind of how do I want to lay this out? What do I want the page design to be? And so I'm trying out a couple of different layouts and different ways of doing it. This is one thing I love about using die cuts and not using stickers because it lets you just sort of move things around. And I thought you might like seeing that process too. And what I came up with that I really liked was just using the Home Sweet Home as the center point of the layout, and then surrounding it with all of these beautiful florals, and then tucking the photos behind those florals at the top and the bottom of the page. And I think that's what I really like, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and commit to. And so I'm going to use my glue gun here. One thing that I wanted with this layout was texture. All of these beautiful florals show this gorgeous texture, and it makes for the most lovely layering after the page is finished. And that's something that makes this layout so stunning, is all of these beautiful layers. And one thing that helps with that is using a glue gun, because hot glue creates a bit of depth underneath your item that you're gluing down. And when you glue several on top of each other, they have a little bit of space in between them, whereas regular adhesive is a little bit more flat. I also feel like using a glue gun makes me work a little bit faster, and so it feels a bit more random and loose instead of overthinking where everything is going to go. I'm just putting it down real quick because the glue gun does dry, hot glue does dry pretty quickly, so you kind of have to stick that down really quick and keep moving and not overthink the layout or overthink the placement of everything. And I like that a lot. I am trying to be mindful of how I'm using the colors of these florals so that, oh, so sorry, my big head there, so that there's not all pink flowers on one side or something like that. And I also, to tuck some in behind the main florals, I cut some of them in half, and that helped to make it possible to tuck those in a little bit better. All right, and then I think that I have the majority of these little flowers adhered down, giant flowers adhered down. I will share a quick Photoshop in 5 tutorial video to show you how I created those florals using the digital stamps in this kit. So I hope that you'll check that out as well, and that will help you to know how I created those florals. And then, of course, there were these lovely leaves also in the kit. So I printed out a bunch of those, and I'm just going to tuck those in a little bit around the flowers, and just to try to add a bit more pop. They actually are this lovely sort of almost green, almost teal color. But still soft. This whole collection is really soft and comfortable. It feels like a warm blanket that's just surrounding you. So another thing I wanted to do, of course, I mentioned earlier, I wanted to add a few stamps here and there across the layout. And this actually, there was a little branch in this stamp set from Felicity Jane, and a couple of word sentiments that tied in with the whole home theme. So I'm going to do a little of that right there, just tucked under the leaf there. You guys, I didn't even notice this until I was doing this voiceover, that I stamped the wrong date. It was in June, but it was 2014, not 2016. So, but what I'll probably do is just write a 4 over it and move on. And I'll probably do that before I add it to the album that it's going in, and not stress over it too much. And that's fine. These things happen. I forget. I'm terrible with dates. I have a terrible memory. And so that happens sometimes. I looked it up before I started creating, and then by the time it was time to stamp it down, I forgot. So, but one of the things I really loved was this little branch stamp. And so I already had the little ivy on the background paper, and then adding this little branch stamp, it added a little more depth and dimension, and follows along with all of the layers that I'm already working to create here. This layout was so satisfying to make. And then for my journaling here, there were these really cool little line stamps that Felicity Jane had, and so I'm going to use those to create a little home base here in this lower left hand corner to write my journaling. And really just what I wanted to document in this story, in this layout, is look at how little they were in 2014. They were sitting on our back porch, and so I think at this stage they were putting in the kitchen cabinets and the flooring and things like that. So the outside of the house was done, but we had not done the seeding for the lawn yet. And this is the cutest little picture of them. They're so happy and excited. They were so excited about the new house and anxious to move in. We were still, in June, we would have still been about 2.5 months out from moving, but they were definitely ready to go, and they loved seeing the process of the house being built. We stopped by almost every night to check the progress of it. And we also, if you hadn't followed our house story before, we painted the whole house. We did the sweat equity program, and so we painted the entire 2,600 square feet house, and we planted the grass and the trees and the landscaping in the yard. So it was very much a hands-on project, and they helped with that too. They helped with those projects too, and so it really was just a family project there. I wanted to tuck in a couple of other little things as well. Just in and around, there were some of these little black and white florals in the kit. And so those were fun to include, and just, I don't know, just having fun here, adding all the things. I say this a lot. It's one of the things that I love about being on Traci's creative team, is that I get to add all the things and just have a good time tucking these little embellishments in. And this was definitely, I don't know, this is one of the most fun layouts to create. I had such a good time, and I've had a wonderful time sharing that process with you today. Of course, there's a blog post that goes along with this layout where you can check out detail photos and get product links and more information about this layout, and you can see tons more inspiration as well on my blog. So I hope you'll hop over there, and I just thank you for following along with me. Have a crafty day. I'll see you back again soon. Bye-bye.